Thanks for staying with us on News Tonight. On to some news from the districts. A brutal murder unfolded at a house in Humble, Salem. 6 members of a family were slaughtered at their home, reportedly over a property dispute. Initial speculations directed the blame at a member of the family, Sivaguru, who allegedly got help from a gangster to carry out the murder. But the man had come to Chennai and reported the murder to the police, but suspects someone else's hand in the murder. Police investigations are currently on. Now, the RD season has set in Chennai, certainly a time when temples are filled with worshippers. But there's also great concern over the small roadside temples, which set up barricades and decorations that almost spill onto the streets, as a result causing a lot of disruption to traffic and pedestrians. Our reporter Pratiksha took a walk down one of those streets and says it's quite a nightmare for a passerby as well.
Scenes of celebration in front of temples like this one are a common sight during RD season. The din of devotional music, colourful lights and crowds of devotees in front of Amman temples are at the maximum. Even small temples like these tucked away in narrow lanes and residential areas were not left out. But motorists and commuters were forced to bear the brunt of these celebrations. Many roads like this one in Mylapore and T Nagar were completely barricaded.
They put on big pandals, block the roads, also have huge mic sets attached to it, and then lots of electricity is being wasted on it. Absolutely no pedestrian space, absolutely no space for also the vehicles to go around, and in the name of religion there is a lot of exploitation.
Managements of temples have to inform and obtain permission from the Chennai Corporation and Chennai Police to hold public prayers. The Chennai Corporation says it tries its best to ensure pedestrians are not disturbed.
Quite tough to regulate because a lot of sensibilities are involved, and people, some people, of course, the nearby who are worshipping in that temple perhaps come for their support, and those who are inconvenienced don't come for support against them.
The Chennai Police say they grant residents permission to hold ceremonies at roadside temples on the condition that traffic should not be disrupted. But serious complaints are usually not received, and when they do come, they will try to sort it out. In Chennai with Pratiksha Ramkumar, Christy for NDTV Hindu.
Now, in an experiment that appears to have worked, family courts that are hearing cases on Saturdays and Sundays seems to have helped cut down the number of pending cases. But there are a group of lawyers who still remain skeptic about the idea. Peer Muhammad reports on this trend.
The family courts in Chennai started holding special holiday sessions from July 10th. Over the past 4 weeks, 117 cases were disposed and 491 cases were heard. The idea, introduced by Chief Justice M.Y. Iqbal, has been hailed by many.
லீவ் வந்து இது பண்ணாமல் சனி ஞாயிறு வந்து கோர்ட் அட்டன் பண்ணுறதுக்கு அவங்களுக்கு ஒரு நல்ல ஒரு வாய்ப்பாக இருக்குது. பட் இது வந்து அவங்களே விரும்பி வாங்கிக்கிறாங்க. சனி ஞாயிறில் வந்து எங்களுக்கு வேணும், நாங்கள் வந்து வேலைக்கு போகிற காரணத்தினால எங்களுக்கு வந்து சனி ஞாயிறு வந்து கோர்ட் இயங்குனுச்சுன்னா எங்களுக்கு நல்லதாக இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி அவங்களே விரும்பி வாங்கிக்கிறாங்க.
But not everyone thinks alike, and some advocates had other suggestions.
It gets into a kind of cold storage where the case is called and adjourned. So we have these enormous lists of calling every day. Every day the judge is calling sometimes 150 cases. Calling cases are going on and on and on till nearly 12:30. Then when is the time, judicial time spent for listening to the cases or taking up the cases for final hearing? You know, the evidence. Then we see, so this kind of calling work must be stopped.
We can definitely add up more courts in order to reduce the burden.
As the attempt to reform the system met with a mixed response, there is an urgent need for qualified counsellors. At present, family courts don't have trained personnel for this special role.
The performance of the holiday family courts has been quite satisfactory in the first month, but advocates and judicial staff still feel that additional family courts are the better solution. In Chennai, Peer Muhammad, NDTV Hindu.
On to some national news now. In yet another blow to the Commonwealth Games premier brand, the company which was appointed as the master licensee for merchandise has withdrawn from the Commonwealth Games. The reason that they have told the organizing committee is that they have not been allowed to start work amid questions over preparedness for the Commonwealth Games and controversy surrounding it. The Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, held a meeting today with ministers concerned and other stakeholders to take stock of the preparations for the mega event to be held in October. Sources have told NDTV that there is likely to be an oversight panel headed by the Sports Minister, Mrs. M.S. Gill, and the organizing committee of the Commonwealth Games that will report to that panel. In news from Kerala, tension is building up in the state as the arrest of the PDP leader Abdul Madani seems imminent now, as police sources say he may be taken into custody any moment. This is regarding his alleged role in the 2008 Bangalore blasts. There have been massive mobilization of police forces in Kollam, Madani's hometown. Madani has filed an anticipatory bail plea in the Supreme Court. His anticipatory bail plea was rejected by the Karnataka High Court last week. Moving on to some news from the world of sports. Bad news is in for Team India in Dambula, miffed with the practice pitch at the Ranjini Dambula Stadium. A furious Indian skipper MS Dhoni on Saturday walked out of a practice session after Dinesh Karthik injured his hand due to an uneven bounce off the track. The 3-hour training session ahead of India's second Tri-Series clash against Sri Lanka on the 16th of August witnessed some drama after Karthik was rendered a doubtful starter for the match due to the hand injury he picked up while practicing.
There are unconfirmed reports that the wicketkeeper batsman may have to miss.
Now in sports news from our very own city, or maybe more than 100 kilometers from Chennai, the sun, the sand and more than 30 mean machines are off-roading their way through the Palar Challenge. It certainly wasn't a fun excursion nor a laid-back drive. Well, if you love that adventurous 4x4 drive, then take a look at this.
Once a riverbed and now barren land. The scorching sun shone over dry sand quarries at the Palar riverbed, making the perfect terrain for an off-roading challenge. A terrain that was tested by 66 participants from across the country with 33 vehicles revved for the adventure. It was time to strap on those seatbelts, binding man and machine. Karnataka, Goa, Sri Lanka and Chennai were the toughest teams to compete with, be it with the most treacherous climbs, negotiating sand quarries with engines overheating, oil pressure dropping, busted radiator hoses and propeller shafts shattered. The worst was experienced and enjoyed just the same. They called it the 10 special stages, or for you and I, Operation Desert Storm. 10 obstacle courses that were many kilometers apart, building for a tougher adventure. All in all, for the first-timers and the seasoned off-roaders, this was an experience of a lifetime. In Chennai, Natasha for NDTV Hindu.
Well, it looks like a lot of fun, but I'm sure it could be quite hectic. Now, Disable the Disability. That was the aim of the special job fair in Chennai today. Drawing a large number of differently abled people, the fair was aimed at making them economically independent. Our reporter Lokpriya, who was at that fair, gets us the details.
24-year-old Anand is happy with his decision to visit the job fair. He has been shortlisted as a telecaller by a private BPO company. Anand is paraplegic from childhood. He is now a final year psychology student.
About
250 candidates attended interviews organized by 30 private companies for jobs such as telecallers, sales and office executives and lift operators. Organizers of the fair and employers agreed that more differently able people should be offered jobs.
For everybody, interview, the very word interview itself creates butterflies in the stomach. So it is a very good exposure for them to actually attend the interviews. More than getting the jobs, it is their exposure to interviews.
I think employers should come forward. It gives a nice, you have Muslims here in a factory, you have Muslims, you have Hindus, you have Christians. Why can't you have disabled people also? They give, It's about having a variety in your organization. You have all kinds of people in your organization. It's good for the morale of everybody else also.
About 72 candidates were shortlisted for jobs. Impressed by the results, organizers say they have plans to conduct job fairs for the differently able people in other districts of the state as well. In Chennai, Lokpriya for NDTV Hindu.
Well, an opening door there for that community. Now, at one point or another, we all have seen reality shows and have quite a lot to say about them. But have you ever heard a reality show? Well, NDTV Hindu gets you a sneak peek into India's first reality show on radio, only on Chennai Live 104.8.
Chennai Live 104.8 calls on all electric guitarists, drummers and croakers to match. Now don't go thinking it's for a Woodstock, but something special for the city. A reality show on radio, Band Hunt.
Well, it's a reality show. It's the first time it's being done on radio, and it's just to look for the best band that is there. We're starting with Chennai. It's going to be very entertaining because there's going to be a lot more connect with the city, because you're going to have your own bands performing there, people you know, and a lot of new numbers, because these are not covers that we're doing. These are all original numbers.
Chennai boasts of a raging rock and metal scene, and that's exactly what this first of its kind show proposes to tap. Band Hunt is no doubt in tune with the channel's motto of connecting in every way to the city.
Radio station in the country to do the talk format. We have, for example, if you look at the morning program, we have the Big Battle with Sanjay Pinto on it. You know, that kind of brings about questioning what is happening in the city, bringing out more information about the city. People have the right to know, for people, for the listeners and the rest of the city to actually connect on various ways.
As it celebrates its second anniversary, Chennai Live 104.8 has in tow a host of maverick initiatives and projects in the pipeline, which will hit the city in the next few months. But for now, get ready for a rock fiesta, the Chennai way, on the airwaves. In Chennai with Ashmit Kumar, Nithila, NDTV Hindu.
Well, lend them a listen and you could be a lucky winner then. That's the news for the moment, but we leave you with some proud moments of our country.
सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तां हमारा हमारा, सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तां हमारा हमारा, सारे जहां से अच्छा। हम बुलबुलें हैं इसकी, ये गुलसितां हमारा हमारा, सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तां हमारा हमारा, सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तां हमारा हमारा, सारे जहां से अच्छा। हम बुलबुलें हैं इसकी, ये गुलसितां हमारा हमारा, सारे जहां से अच्छा।